Hi there, I'm Thorana. We're going to talk about the first part of the business model canvas, which is your customer segments. Those are the groups of customers that you're going to sell to. Now, the simple fact is that if you don't have customers, you don't have a business. So this is pretty important. You need to choose the customer segments that you're going to focus on. Now, this means grouping the market into segments with common needs and behaviors and identifying the best ones for you to focus on. You may think to yourself, well, why can't I just sell to everybody? Do I have to limit myself? Now, the answer is no, you can't sell to everybody. And yes, you do have to limit yourself. The simple fact is, if you try to talk to everybody and reach everybody, you're not going to reach anybody. And if you don't limit yourself, you're going to spread yourself too thin and nothing's going to happen. So you have to focus. We need to find the groups of people that are likeliest to buy from you. And we need to know all about them so that we know how best to reach them, what matters to them, what message is going to work, and where you can reach them. Because that's going to allow you to fulfill their needs. And that's what business is all about, really. Fulfilling people's needs and solving their problems. So how do we segment them? Well, we need to look at a few things. Look at groups that have different needs. Different needs mean different segments. You can have the same product but different needs. Think about Johnson's baby lotion. It's a totally different segment whether I'm selling to women that are actually using it for their babies, but then there's another huge market that uses Johnson baby lotion for makeup remover. Totally different message. If you need to communicate with the group through a different channel from other groups that you're selling to, or you need to distribute to them through a different channel, that means that it's a different segment of the market. So have a think about that as well. If in some way that the relationship you have with that group is different from relationships you may have with other groups of customers, that again, that's going to mean different messaging, which is again going to mean that this is a different segment of the market. Also, if they are less or more profitable. Now, obviously, you're going to want to find the groups that are more profitable. That's going to be good business. And you'll find that different groups of people are prepared to pay for different things. So that again is a different segment. Think about it. Some people are prepared to pay for the really, really fancy, expensive smartphones. Others just want something cheap that works. Now, if we look at some examples of market segmentation, we could look at mass market, which is what we know from like huge corporations like Coca-Cola or products like milk. And this can be something that appeals to a wide array of customers. Usually this is not a very viable market for small business. There are big players in there, and it means that you're going to have to reach so many people that it's not going to be efficient for you. Niche market, however, very tightly focused niche markets where you really find your group of people can be very profitable if the niche is big enough. And in today's market with the internet, you're talking about a global market. So even if in your local market there aren't quite enough people to base a business on it, you may be able to in a global market. I mean, there's even a store that sells wigs for cats. Now, if that is a niche, I don't know what is. So if they can make a business of it, you can probably make a business of something. Then you have segmented markets. This is really the realm of big business because most small businesses won't have the resources to do this. But if you think about it, there are some businesses that have different offerings for different segments. Think about Toyota, for example. They have loads of different types of cars for different kind of segments, different kinds of groups of people. They'll have the Auris and the Yaris for like, the cheap and cheerful things. You'll have Corolla, which is a little bit bigger. The Avensis is your, say upper middle class car. Then you have the Jeep to satisfy those needs. And then Toyota, even though some of us may not realize, actually have Lexus as well, which is a luxury brand. So they cover different parts of the market with different products. Again, not something that small business is likely to do straight away. And then there are multi-site markets that serve more than one very different group, but they are still completely dependent on each other. So if you think about a website that sells advertising, and that's the business model, that means that they have to get readers, and they have to get as many readers as they can, because then they can sell advertising to the advertisers. So they have to get the readers and they have to market to them, but then they also have to market to the advertisers, who are actually the ones that pay for the whole thing. Whatever you do, choose your customer segments carefully and study them well so that you can best reach them. Good luck.